From Dhaka, thank you very much for being our guest today.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Sure. You are a medical doctor. You have a Western education. You have a huge social media following. Why did you feel you needed to take part in this movement despite the obvious risks? I just want to remind our viewer, at least 1,400 people lost their lives after the repression.
So, actually, during the uprising, I was in the UK and I took part as a diaspora member. So did thousands of diaspora members in the uprising. And why I decided to join politics is actually motivated by two factors. So the first is, of course, as a doctor, I'm able to only impact the patients that I see, but politics offers an opportunity to hopefully influence systemic changes that affects much larger segment of the population and brings about positive changes. So that's one. And the other motivating factor for me to join politics and to join National Citizen Party, the Students' Party, like you said, is to change our existing political culture away from nepotism, polarization, and corruption to a culture of transparency, accountability, and evidence-based policy. The July uprising crystallized this vision and provided an extraordinary chance, and I believe once in a lifetime opportunity for us to shift our political culture to a culture where it truly serves the citizens of Bangladesh.
Well, as you mentioned, the political landscape since the independence back in 1971 has been dominated by two parties, the Awami League led by Sheikh Hasina and the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, the BNP, led by Khaleda Zia. Your party was just created 2 months ago. How do you imagine challenging those two heavyweights in the near future?
So I feel that the political landscape has already changed. It's almost like the youth have torn down the walls and injected fresh air into the room. The youth are have brought in fresh ideas, fresh thoughts, and for the first time in decades, for the first time in my lifetime, political parties are engaging in dialogues about reforms in our constitution, reforms in our electoral system, reforms in judiciary, in police, and public administration, in our anti-corruption efforts, thanks to the July uprising, which was led by the youth, which was led by the students. And I think the political landscape has already changed, and the people of Bangladesh are watching. Eventually, they will judge who rose to this historic moment. Everyone has a responsibility, and who rose to the moment and who chose to stay back.
Right. Mohammed Yunus, who is leading the interim government, he said, I just want to stay and then leave the scene. He has launched several reform committees on 15 different areas. He's hoping to get a consensus on key reform. How realistic is this, given the deep divisions we just talked about?
So transition after any uprising is not linear, but what matters is whether the direction we're traveling to is the right direction. And as you said, there have been several reforms